Parents of Reddit, what are your kids currently attempting to hide from you? My 6-year-old got out of bed early on Sunday morning to sneak downstairs and steal Monopoly money from the bank in the unfinished game from the night before, which was left out on the table. #X200B. When he becomes a teenager and starts acting like his generation invented the internet and everything and that old people are stupid, I'll show him this thread. Smile. My kid would get up in the middle of the night and want a snack. He would sneak into the kitchen and eat a whole tomato except the little circle where it connected to the stem. He hid the little stem circles under whatever was on top of the trash and would go to sleep. We always made sure there were tomatoes for him. I did that with pickles. I'd sneak in the kitchen and just eat my weight in pickles. The Pez dispenser's in his nightstand. He eats them in secret pretty sparingly, so I let it go. He's 6. Edit. He never eats them at bedtime and has a pretty strict teeth brushing schedule, so I'm not overly concerned about cavities. A 6-year-old with self-control and willpower is pretty impressive. My sister was like this. Every Halloween she still had a few pieces of candy left from the year before. She'd ration it until the next year, so she never ran out from the time she was about 6 onwards. Mine was always gone by Remembrance Day. Mine was literally always gone by the day or two after Halloween, if not the same night. Lol. I've had like zero self-control with food if I've had access to it. Lol. My kid is 5. She sneaks food under her blanket, wraps snacks for later, and is always amazed when I find them. Edit. Thanks for the concern, guys, but as it's happened 3 times in a 12-month span, I'm certain that she does not have an eating disorder. She is also not overweight. Kids will be kids. My 22-year-old son starts work at 6 a.m. He left the house at 6:30 and came back 30 minutes later. I think he got fired. Update, he went to work today. I asked him if he went to work yesterday and he said everything was locked up and they had changed the unloading schedule that day and didn't tell him. Second update, September 15, 2019, he slept in after staying up late with friends and finally got fired. He told us immediately. He owes us money. My daughter, who's 9, thinks she's being crafty hiding a book under her pillow to read after bedtime. I've known for about a year and let her have half an hour secret reading time after she goes to bed. Bit harder to know if she's not reading after half an hour now. It's summer and she doesn't need to use a lamp, but I can tell if she's turned her lamp off in winter. Smile. Edit, my most upvotes ever and a silver. Thank you, D. Himself. It's nearly bedtime. 2-year-old thinks I'll forget to put him to bed if he runs into another room for 30 seconds. When my son was 5, he stashed a bunch of blueberries under his pillow for later. Problem is, not only did they get squished night 1, but he forgot about them until we changed his sheets a few days later. Ugh. Death. We had a foster kid that hid about 2 handfuls of spaghetti with sauce under his pillow. Found it the next day while he was at school. Got it cleaned up. Never told him we found it. Made sure to have spaghetti twice a week thereafter. Oh, I've heard of foster parents that keep mini fridges with food in the kids' room to help them with anxiety. On one of the foster parents, what do you suggest to new foster parents? Threads, there was a family where the foster kid came from a food insecure situation. After the first time that they caught him sneaking food, like an apple or something he thought he wasn't allowed to have, they decided to do something different. They went to the kitchen and opened up the pantry, fridge, freezer, everything. And said that as long as 1, you don't keep it in your room to rot, and 2, you don't make yourself sick, then you're allowed to have any food at any time. The kid would test this rule, and get like an entire plate of leftovers right before dinner. 5 apples at 3 a.m. Cans of pumpkin pie filling. All sorts of weird combinations. Every time the parents would have a knee-jerk reaction of abducting. Course not. We're about to have dinner, but before they actually said that, they would remember and let him do his thing. Eventually he realized that they really meant it, and he started having more typical food habits, not dictated by anxiety. Thanks for the gold, but before anyone else thinks that they should spend money on this, please instead find a way to get resources to kids in food insecure households. They need love and food, and one of the barriers to those is money. Don't waste your money on me. I was a foster child. One family took us, and me and my 2 brothers, and took us grocery shopping day 1. They let us pick whatever we wanted. Sugary cereal, snack cakes, etc. I always had that as one of my favorite memories and didn't realize until way later that they probably did that to make us feel at home. Another early memory was my social worker taking me to the park and buying me a pear from a roadside stand. It's one of my favorite memories ever. Yeah, my brother is a foster parent. Anytime that they get some kids, my wife and I always bring over some welcome to the family package, some toys, usually, but also might cater more useful things based on the situation they came from. Even if they are only staying for a weekend, we make sure to treat them like we are hoping to know them their whole life. That's a great sentiment. Foster children are treated like luggage far too often, so the best thing you can do for them is treat them like people. I'm glad you put in the effort. It's a small thing for you, but they'll remember it forever. I remembered a pair. Exactly. I don't think I could foster, but I'm glad I get to be their cool foster uncle. Hopefully they stick around long enough that I can teach them how to go fishing and make fires and stuff. He has a crush on the babysitter and tries to draw hearts to give to her. He also proposed. He is 6. We went on a trip this summer that involved a plane ride. My son looked at me and said, "Mom, do you think the waitress, flight attendant, is pretty?" I said, "Yes, she is pretty. Why do you think she is pretty?" He giggled and said, "Yes, I think she is pretty. Don't tell though." S6. Kids warming up his game early and double-checking his standards. Everybody's kids here are hiding books to read secretly. Mine's hiding in his bedroom trying to use a glue stick like lip balm. Keep an eye on that. The regular weirdos ate crayons and turned out okay. The kids eating paste were the delinquents. Hey, I ate the paste as a kid and my brain just fine. Oh no. Our son, 9, is taking his marbles to school and screwing other kids out of their marbles. He's got a real hustle going on there. He's not allowed to take any toys to school, hence why he's hiding it. I checked his school backpack and found probably a kilogram worth of marbles in there. We are having a talk this afternoon. Will the talk involve increase your profit margins, choose your clientele, become exclusive, do less work but for higher returns, because it definitely should. No kid should have to lug a kilo of marbles about. Lol. Good idea. He had like a small packet of marbles we bought him one time for Christmas. I think there was like 10 or 15 in it. With that, and the other 15 he scammed his sister out of, he won that many marbles at school. It's well over 200 at this point, I'm sure. But unfortunately all he thinks about now is his marbles and how to win them and not his homework. His teacher is getting real pissed at him. My 6-year-old is gobsmacked that I know about the rolling around on the floor instead of schoolwork. No idea the teacher can reach me anytime. Edit, holy shamily, I didn't expect that. About the rolling around on the floor, your kid is a yellow lab. My daughter throws her lettuce under the table for the dog to eat. The dog doesn't like lettuce. Your kitchen floor might need some cleaning at this point in time. Imagine just a giant mountain of lettuce on the floor and the kid says, "I don't know how that got there." Conversation with daughter, "Okay, so while I was changing your sister, did you finish dinner?" "Yes, Daddy, all of it." "Yes, so if I look in the garbage, I'm not going to find any of your dinner in there." Silence. Edit 1, gonna update this so you'll stop calling me a prick. I am not force overfeeding my kid. I am making sure she actually gets some nutritious food in reasonable portions. When said child is asking for snacks, read, sugary shit, right after not eating a meal, that means she's not full. When she's not eating a meal simply because it has a color she doesn't like or something she has liked before but presented slightly differently, yeah, sorry, but she's gonna have to eat that. And no, I didn't steal this from a ducking YouTube video. Do you think that there's only one parent that has had kids try to pull a fast one with dinner? Edit 2, thank you whomever gave the gold. I assume you're also a parent and not one of these others who are griping so much while never having experienced what a chore it is to keep a kid to eat semi-healthily. Edit 3, assuming Reddit is around by then, when she's older I'm gonna show my kid that my first gold is about her not eating her damn food. Smile. I flushed food I didn't like down the toilet.